Hey everybody, it's Stacia here with Legacy of Light in conjunction with One Love Wellness Center here in Menasha, Wisconsin, coming to you for one of my 365 days from my heart to yours. And today I opened up to a page in If the Buddha Dated, which is a super awesome book. It has such a wealth of information from, letting go of your ego in relationships and just different things that you can do to make it work. So the chapter that I opened up to is to help the relationship expand with creativity and playfulness. Nothing stands still. Whatever doesn't grow withers and dies. If we aren't growing, we are going backward. To keep a relationship alive means exploring our capacity as a couple to have fun. Try new ventures and create a special language of relationship. Each person can help expand a relationship by initiating new experiences and making clear requests to find out if their new love will join them in their heartfelt desires. In getting to know Andrew, the man I met when I first finished my first book, I wanted to know if he would take an interest in my writing because it was such an important part of my life. Although he had casually asked about my book, and I had vaguely mentioned that I'd like him to read some of it, nothing happened. So instead of waiting for him to ask, I called him and said, I'd love to have some feedback on something I'm writing. Can I send you a chapter right now? And he said yes. Of course, I sent him the chapter on sex. To make it even easier for him to respond, I included a list of questions. Please tell me what parts you like, what doesn't have flow, and what is missing, and so on. By doing this, I opened the field to finding out if he could join me in my personal world, something I yearned for. To my delight, he read the chapter, gave me some helpful feedback, and we ended up having a heartfelt conversation about sexuality. If you want something to happen, help it happen. Don't complain that you never cook together, watch a particular video, or go dancing. Take action and initiate. People who get results are usually excellent at making specific requests, bolstered by self-confidence. They enjoy stretching their limits and experimenting. They also believe they deserve what they are asking for. People who don't get what they want often complain, make muffled pleas or vague suggestions, and then feel mad that their wishes aren't fulfilled. Remember, it's crucial to make a specific request and suggest a time. I'd like to cook dinner together next Friday evening. I'd like to practice dancing before we go out this Saturday so I won't feel self-conscious on the dance floor. I'd like us to read love poems to each other in bed and have a book ready. I'd like to plan a camping trip for next weekend. By doing this, you get a clearer picture of the potential of this relationship. If she says, I don't want to read poems in bed, I think that's silly, then you know that if you choose this person, reading poems in bed is something you will have to live without. If he says, I hate camping when you suggest an outdoor adventure, then accept that you will camp alone or with other people forever. By making these requests and seeing if the other person is receptive, you find out where you meet and where you don't. You will know the positive aspects and the limitations of being with this person, so you can make an informed choice. So asking these requests, making these requests isn't so you can get mad at the other person for not agreeing with you or not wanting to do the things that you're doing. You are asking and making these requests so that you can make that informed choice. Do I want to continue in this relationship? Will this be fulfilling enough for me? Because some things, on your list of, desires in the person that you want to be with are, easier to let go. Oh, he doesn't like drinking tea. That could be something maybe that you could let go. But if it's important to you, like if you love camping, just going off of their example, and the other person doesn't, that is going to be harder to deal with and easier to begin on this, this path of resentment towards this person. And You know, if they don't like camping, then they don't like camping. And it's your choice to decide if you want to continue with this, or just let it go and then search for somebody who does like camping. And that's, I think, part of the things that we've gotten away with in our culture is this process of dating, of, you know, finding out if you are a match, if these things matter to the other person like they matter to you. It doesn't have to be every single thing, but some things are more important to you, and that's okay. There's nothing right or wrong about that. And it's okay that if, you know, you've been dating and you find out this thing isn't really that important to this person, that maybe, you know, you can move on and find somebody who it is important to, because there are infinite possibilities in this universe. So limiting to like, this is the only person is the, you know, the part. And I think partly because we haven't made these requests, and then we don't allow the other person to be truthful. Like, oh, why wouldn't you like camping? That doesn't even make sense. You're just gonna have to like camping if you want to be with me, kind of thing. And you know, I think in you know, some of my past relationships, I see that now, where it was like, oh, well, that isn't that important to you, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be. And if it's something that is important to me and I don't want to compromise, that's okay too. Because when I send that message out to the universe that I am not willing to compromise, it hears. When we send the message out that it doesn't really matter, it hears. And I think it just sends you on this path into, you know, resentment. And so, you know, like the writer says, you know, you get to know the positive aspects. You get to know the limitations of the relationship and then make your decision. A variation on this theme is to simply take action. Bring a book of love poems to bed. Touch your lover tenderly. And when the time feels right, read on. See how she reacts. When I am becoming involved with Jessie, who seemed very practical, I figured she would think I was corny to set up this pretty dinner table with flowers, candles, and good silverware. But because I love to create a beautiful atmosphere, I did it anyhow. Much to my delight, Jessie smiled, touching the flowers, and said warmly, "This is lovely. My family never did anything like this." I also read the ecstatic poems of Kabir to her while snuggled up in the little tent on the camping trip. When you become proactive, playful, and assertive, you bring a sparkling energy to the relationship and become a catalyst for the both of you to break new ground. One caveat with this approach: both people must be honest and not fake pleasure and enjoyment. Often people don't try something new because no one has ever showed them how, or they are blocked by inertia. So being introduced to something is a new blessing. Other times, after a few tries, a person isn't interested. Someone might accompany you doing something on occasion to please you, but he or she needs to be honest and to admit it's not really something he or she would choose if you weren't around. So likewise, we need to be slow in refusing a request unless it feels like an inner violation to our values. Remember, your new love is opening their heart, asking you to join in their pleasure. If you're always saying no, you're shutting the door of connection. If you're not sure you want to take part in some activity, express your doubts, but don't slam the door. You might have a nice surprise. Andrew arrived for our first date at an outdoor cafe riding a motorcycle. A motorcycle? My stereotype of men on motorcycles was a bunch of testosterone announcing itself to the world by gunning the engines and showing off. Fortunately, I was totally charmed by Andrew, and while I didn't accept his invitation for a ride that day, I didn't close the door either. A few weeks later, when he invited me to join him on a ride to a waterfall up the mountains where we could take a hike, I could hear how much it meant to him. As we started up the road, a big laugh exploded inside me. Here I am, nearly 50, on the back of a motorcycle. Where else will life take me? As my mind quieted down, I started to feel the breeze on my face. Then slowly as I relaxed, I began to appreciate the unfettered view of the pine trees, the balsam root, and the wide array of spring wildflowers. I can't say I'll ever be a motorcycle enthusiast, but I did agree to another ride, and more important, I felt pleasure by joining him in something that he loved. So remember, you might feel awkward or silly trying something new, but you might also have a good laugh and open up your heart and move beyond your prejudices and end up dancing closer to your beloved. So in this dance of relationships, it is about going with the flow and not compromising when it's a heartfelt conviction, but maybe compromising and trying something new when you know it means something to this person. So try it. And if you don't like it, then let that person know. And just be honest. And it's okay to be honest and just choose to use your words from your heart. You know, I thought I could go through this again, but you know what? I didn't really enjoy myself. You know, something as simple as that. But, you know, like, sometimes you may try something new and realize, wow, I have a new perspective of this. And you don't close the door to maybe some new joy and love and excitement in your life. But I think above, you know, all, relationships are for our positive growth, and they are meant to help us expand beyond what our minds, you know, can perceive. They are to help us expand our hearts, and when we trust in our hearts and the flow of our divine existence, and we allow others to be who they are within their divine existence, and we, you know, kind of merge that together. That is the beauty of this life. And allow yourself to be who you are, and allow that other person to be who they are. And allow yourself to be loved, and allow yourself to share love, and to be blessed. And to remember to have fun. Fun is what we're here to experience. Joy, love, fun, it all. Don't take it all so seriously. Because it is a way less serious than you think. I'm telling you. So after watching this video, go do something fun. Enjoy yourself. Love yourself. Be free. All right. Love you guys.